What up folks, it's Alex here. Now I've seen a lot of questions about the latency within Shadow PC, so I figured I'd throw together a quick video which gives you an actual end user demonstration of the latency within Shadow. Now in this video I'm using a DualShock 4 and I'm going to be playing Forza Horizon 4. I will do some first person shooters as well with the keyboard and mouse, but this is just a quick demonstration to get us up and running. Right, so here we are in Forza. Now the camera is recording at 120 frames per second and hopefully you should be able to see the controller and the screen. Now I'm recording the screen capture using the Nvidia game capture. Now that's actually running locally on my own PC. It's running at bandwidth of 30, so I'm using 30 megabits a second. I can go faster with my home broadband, but I'm going to keep it at 30 so it's a realistic experience for the average sort of broadband user in the UK. Now make this full screen again. This is running within Shadow, as I say, and if I just go to settings, video, you can see I'm running on Ultra, 2560 by 1080 at 60 frames per second. In the top right you can see my frames per second. It'll be 60, may dip every now and again, but generally at 60 I'm using about 50% of the GPU, so it's not particularly taxing on it. And yeah, this is my Mustang, so let's go for a drift. Now I don't know if you can see it on the capture, but there is a little bit of artifacting going on the screen. It's not too major, it's not distracting by any means. It's there at 30 frames per sorry, it's there at 30 megabits, but it's not too noticeable really. This is a, as I say, an ultra wide, so 2560 by 1080 running at 60 Hz on a 30 megabits connection, so it's sort of a given that will be a little bit there, but it's not too bad at all. Or can't drift and talk, so let's park that. But there you go, a little test. Get you on the brake light. Now at the bottom of the screen here you can see the actual number of frames in this shot, and what we're going to do is count the number of frames between the trigger being pressed and the brake lights actually appearing on screen. And here's the maths. So we started at frame 48 and we ended at frame 68. 68 minus 48 gives us 20 frames. Now we filmed this at 120 frames per second. There's 1000 milliseconds in 1 second, so if we do 1000 divided by 120 we get 8.3. So every frame lasts for 8.3 milliseconds. We know it took 20 frames, so if we do 20 times 8.3, that's 166 milliseconds from input to display. To make sure it was a fair test, I also ran it a few extra times using different buttons and I came back with pretty consistent results. This is Forza running locally on my PC. It's identical, ultra, same resolution, 60 frames per second. Here's a quick direct comparison between the local PC and the Shadow PC. We'll leave this run for a second so you can have a good look. And just for transparency, we're also going to do the same latency test using the local version of Forza. Exactly the same maths as last time. We started on 90, finished on 100, that gives us 10 frames. 10 times 8.3 gives us 83 milliseconds from input to display. Now let's have a look at the results. On my local PC there's 83 milliseconds and on my Shadow PC there's 166. Now remember, that's all the way through, that's from input to display. So what does all that actually mean? Well, fortunately the guys over at displaylag.com have been doing God's work and they performed a very similar test. Now this test is from input to display and they're using an actual monitor rather than a TV, and they've tested some PS4 and some Xbox One games. Now we're going to focus on one in particular, and that's Forza Horizon 2 on the Xbox One. Now that comes in at 149 milliseconds of latency. we're at 166 using Shadow. Now that difference of 17 milliseconds is about 1 frame at 60 Hz, so we're 1 frame behind. Now if you were to play Forza Horizon 2 on a TV, realistically you've probably got to add about 20 milliseconds on top of that. Playing Forza Horizon 4 on Shadow with a decent monitor is practically identical to playing Forza Horizon 2 on an Xbox One on a TV. For one last quick bit of context, I went over to humanbenchmark.com to test my own reaction times. You simply click the mouse when the banner goes green. Now after 5 attempts, which you're seeing now, I came out with an average of 265 milliseconds. I performed the exact same test using my Shadow PC, and I came up with an average of 310. So 265 milliseconds versus 310 milliseconds, giving us a difference of 45 milliseconds. And that's it. I hope this video was useful for you and has answered some of your questions. Honestly, that additional latency is barely noticeable at all in something like Forza when you're chilling with a controller. Now admittedly, that is slightly more noticeable in first-person shooters. I personally have Destiny 2, Wildlands, CSGO. If there's anything else you'd like to see, pop a comment below and I'll see what I can do. Honestly though, Shadow is very, very impressive. I'm based in the middle of England, in the Midlands, and the data center I'm using is in France. If this video was useful, like, comment, and subscribe. Pop a comment below if there's anything in particular Shadow related that you'd like to see. Stick around for some more Shadow content in the new year. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.